Tomorrow is the 10th of October 2025, and it is the D-Day for all Forex traders. If you say you're a Forex trader and you don't know what's going to be happening tomorrow, the 10th of October, then you still have a lot to learn. But don't worry, my channel is here. I'm here to tell you guys exactly what's going to be happening tomorrow and how you can position yourself to win from that particular fundamental. If you guys must have known, last week we were supposed to have NFP, which stands for non-farm payroll for the United States dollar, and this data just measures the total number of jobs created in the United States out of the agricultural sector. That's why it's called the NFP data. So we were expecting this data last week Friday, which was the 3rd of October, but unfortunately the US economy was on shutdown. So since the US economy was on shutdown, it was postponed or rescheduled for the 10th of October 2025, which is going to be tomorrow. So yes, the data is going to be coming out tomorrow. And if you guys know me very well, my name is Ndemazeah Godlove. And on this channel, which has become the biggest YouTube channel in Africa in the niche of Forex and the niche of finance, we have gotten 99% accuracy when it comes to all the NFP predictions. So all the NFP predictions I have given you guys, we have gotten 99% accuracy. So what's the data for tomorrow according to my sources, according to my data? What is the data for tomorrow? Is the NFP going to be positive or negative for the United States dollar? Should we be buying or selling gold? Should we be buying or selling Nasdaq? Should we be buying or selling Euro USD? What the hell is going to happen tomorrow, and what can we do to make money? So we're going to be covering that on this video coming up right now. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Ndemazeah Godlove, and on this channel I share tips on Forex, crypto, and just general finance tips on how you can stay consistently profitable with my 10 years of experience. So yes, I have been sitting here and doing the same thing, which is Forex, for 10 good years. So if you want to learn from me, if you want to learn from my channel, if you want to keep updated on free content like this, make sure number one, you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that subscribe button below to subscribe to the channel. Leave a like on this video if you like content like this. And as always, let's get into the video. So good. I already explained to you guys the meaning of NFP, because if you're not informed, you'll be totally deformed. You don't just become magically profitable. It doesn't happen by chance. So you need to know what you're trading so that you're not gambling. If you don't know, you just be gambling. So NFP stands for non-farm payroll, and it is a data which is released in the United States, and it measures the total number of jobs in the United States out of the agricultural sector. So this data, traders watch their investing.com or their economic calendar very critically, because this data will tell them if the United States dollar is going to be bullish or bearish at that particular moment or for almost a month. So it is the most volatile and the most liquid fundamental in the whole Forex industry. All right. So let's go into our prediction or our sources to see if the data for tomorrow is going to be negative or positive. And then I'm also going to be telling you guys what asset to buy, which one to sell, and all of that. Let's start with the consensus, right? On the consensus, last month, September, we were expecting NFP data to come out to be 75K, all right? We're just going to go through the website. Just come with me on the website, and I'm just going to show you guys some few data, and then we're going to jump back on our prediction. So if we can come here, let me just make sure everything is recording. If we can come here on investing.com, and this is for today. If we just click here and go on the history, this is all the NFP data for the past 1 year. And for last month, September, we were actually expecting 75 jobs to be created, 75,000 jobs to be created, but you can see how short it fell. We fell very, 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 very short of that data, and only 22K data or only 22K jobs were created based on the jobless claim, the ADP non-farm payroll, or the JOLTS data. All of that, we had a lot and a lot. The Fed also dropping the interest rate and all of that. It caused the data to drop to a whooping 22,000, which was below what was even expected or what was even forecasted. Now, let's come to today, right? Let's come to today. what are we expecting for tomorrow? So this was last week, which was our forecast, and then tomorrow the analysts are expecting, or they are forecasting, that the data can be 52K, all right, can be 52K. But now, according to my analysis, which my sources comes from investing.com, which I got my NFP consensus and also the ADP. ADP stands for ADP, non-farm payroll data. I also use the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the BLS, for my JOLTS and historical data. I also use Institute of Supply Management, the ISM, so the ISM data or the ISM related data, like the Producers Management Index, the PMI Index, and all of that. So I also use traderseconomics.com for all of these data. The data which was also very, very important, which I haven't gotten it for last month and I couldn't use it here, was also our CPI, but the CPI is not related to NFP in any way. So we're going to leave that one out. So according to my prediction, according to all these data, I'm predicting that my data is going to fall short of 52,000. All right. So if this data is falling short, if the data comes out, and if you can see on my website, if the data comes out and is less than 52,000, we're going to be having a weaker US dollar. That's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting my data to be between 20,000 and 50,000. Between 20,000 and 50,000 jobs. And if it falls between 20,000 and 50,000 jobs, it means that data is less than forecasted. If it's less than forecasted, it's going to be red here, meaning it's going to be weaker for the United States dollar. Boom. Since we have predicted, remember, this is my prediction. It's not financial advice. This is just for educational purposes and after me doing my own due diligence. Always do your own research and your own due diligence, right? So if my prediction is correct, for NFP to fall below 52K, which I'm predicting it to be between 20 and 50K, what is going to happen in the Forex market? Now, many traders are going to be dumping the United States dollar. They're going to be dumping the United States dollar and they're going to be moving to safe haven assets like gold. So expect gold to rally to the moon tomorrow if the data falls below 52K. So we're going to be buying gold. You're going to be buying gold and expect it to rally for at least 500 pips. We're going to be buying US stocks and US stocks related assets like NASDAQ, US 500, US 30. We're also going to be buying because if there's a tumor with the United States dollar, or if the United States dollar is also weakening, it just gives that additive effect and stocks rally at the same time. Because many people are like, oh, the United States dollar is trash. I'm going to put my money more on stocks. I'm going to put my money more on indices like US 30, US 500, and all of that. So expect them to also rally. Now let's come to currencies. So when it comes to currencies, we're going to be selling any currency that has the United States dollar as the first currency on that currency pair. Remember, that's why we are calling it a currency pair, meaning there are two economies on that currency pair. So anyone that has the United States dollar as the first currency on that currency pair, we're going to be selling. Currency pairs like USD JPY. USD JPY, we're going to be selling with a lot of confidence because at the same time, we have data that is telling us that the United States dollar is weakening, and we also have data that is telling us that the Japanese yen is strengthening. The Japanese yen, which is BOJ, the Bank of Japan, they just recently appointed a new governor for their bank, or new director for the Bank of Japan. And based on her incentives, we are seeing that the Japanese yen is also going to be strengthening. So if we have USD JPY, it means we have data that is going to be telling us that the Japanese yen is going to be strengthening. So you expect USD JPY to sell. We also have USD, which is telling us that the US dollar is going to be weakening. So we also expect US JPY to sell. So you're going to sell USD JPY, you're going to sell USD CAD, you're going to sell USD CHF. Now, any currency pair that has the United States dollar as the secondary currency or the quote currency in that currency pair, we're going to be buying. So we're going to be buying Euro USD with confidence. With confidence, we're going to be buying Euro USD. We're going to be buying Great Britain Pound USD. We're going to be buying AUD USD, NZD USD, or any currency pair that has USD as the secondary pair in that currency pair. Of course, gold is XAU USD, meaning we're going to be buying gold with confidence. So not even using this analogy to explain that since the USD is a secondary currency or the secondary currency on that currency pair, so we should buy. We've also used the analogy of asset and their parities to also explain that anytime the United States dollar is weakening, or anytime we have sentiments that are telling us that the United States dollar is weakening, many people many investors dump the United States dollar and they move to safe haven assets like gold. So anytime you see the data of NFP coming out and it falls below the forecast, just know gold is going to be buying that same day. Gold is going to be buying at the same moment. And if it comes out and is more than the forecast, then gold is going to be selling because more investors are going to be dumping the gold, which is known as a safe haven, and they're going to be investing more on the United States dollar. Since there's data showing them that the United States economy is going to be appreciating, hence the United States dollar is also going to be appreciating. So that's my prediction for NFP for tomorrow. But disclaimer, we have a couple of reasons which NFP can still shoot above 52K. It has happened. It has happened when we've done this analysis. We've come up and we do it, then boom, you see the market still comes and does its own thing. So you need to always play with caution. And I'm just going to tell you one or two of those reasons that I'm telling you there's a possibility that NFP can still shoot above 52K. And I'm just going to show you guys two of those reasons why you need to also play with caution and don't overexpose yourself in the market. The number one reason is what we call the snapback effect, all right? The snapback effect. And the snapback effect, sometimes after a surprising weak report, the next month shows a bounce back as the underlying economic proves more resilient than a single data point suggested. So a single data point suggested for September can't just give us, a clear indication to say, okay, this is what is going to be happening in October. So the snapback effect just tells us that after a surprisingly weak report, like what happened in September, the next month shows a bounce back as the underlying economy proves more resilient than a single data point suggested. So that's one point you need to have at the back of your mind. Number two, statistical noise and revisions. Statistical noise and revision. And what does it say? The NFP is a survey and is famously volatile. It's a survey and is famously volatile. One terrible month can be followed by a rebound the next month due to seasonal adjustment or supply statistical noise. That's very important. The September number could later be revised. So because of these two reasons, you should also have at the back of your mind that this data, there's a small probability. There's a high probability, almost about 90%, that is going to be below 52K. But there is that small probability, about 10% probability, that it can still fall, or it can still go above 52K, which I just gave you guys two standard and most crucial reasons. We sometimes, you can see from history, we used to expect NFP to come out this and then it will come out. And those two reasons at the end of the day used to be the reasons I just gave you guys on this video. So if you're a beginner or if you're not too sure, number one, reduce your exposure. Don't go all in, don't go full margin. Reduce your exposure. Or what you can do is you can do what I used to call the post-NFP data, meaning you stay on the sideline for the NFP data to come out. If the NFP data comes out and it's negative, and then boom, I'm going to be buying gold. You go in, you buy your gold, and then you use what I used to call swings in the market to trade your stop. Swings in the market means if NFP comes out and it's negative for the United States dollar, you go in immediately and you buy your gold confidently, go in immediately, buy your gold, and then you move down to the 5-minute time frame and start waiting for the market to produce swings. As soon as the market starts producing swing, what are you doing? You start trailing your stops on those swings. You start trailing your stops on those swings. You start trailing your stops. I'm going to show you an example on gold. Okay, let's just say this is let's change this to the 5-minute. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how, if you're not too experienced, you can still trade NFP without losing an arm, right? I'm going to show you guys. I'm just looking for a trendy space, and then I'm going to show you guys something right here. Okay, so let's just say we had something like this. Let's just say we had, this is a typical example right here. This is a typical example. Let's just say NFP, I'm going to use this line. Let's just say NFP was released on this candle right here, right? Let's just say NFP was released on this particular candle, and boom, in South Africa, it used to be 2:30 p.m. In whatsoever you're located, it's going to be according to your time zone. So as 2:30 p.m., boom, you're going to come here and NFP is going to be released. As soon as NFP is released, you just keep watching on your investing.com. As soon as the data comes out on your investing.com, what do? You check if it's green or red. That's it. If it's green, then it's positive for the United States dollar. If it's red, then it means it's negative for the United States dollar. If it's negative for the United States dollar, one thing is going to happen to gold. Since gold is XAU USD, as you can see up here, this is USD, XAU USD, you expect gold to buy. So at that point in time, you just open your chart immediately, 5-minute time frame, put your lot size, and you click on buy. All right, I've already shown you guys how to calculate the lot size to use and all of that. You just buy immediately here. You don't need to do any analysis, nothing. Once fundamentals speak, technicals listing. Always have that at the back of your mind. Once fundamentals speak, technicals listing, meaning your double bottom, fair value gap, jumping over the fence, rejection, it wouldn't be respected at that point in time. None of that BS is going to matter once fundamentals speak. So don't worry yourself analyzing the market. Just open your chart immediately and click on buy if that happens. When you click on buy, now how do you manage your position? In my case, I target most of the time for my NFP, I used to target 400 pips. 400 pips for every NFP. I target 400 pips and then I trail my stop. Meaning even if I don't hit 400 pips, I'm going to still come out with what? With a profit. So what will I do at that point in time? I used to just come, I'm going to use this like this. Let's just come long position. So you enter there on a buy. I'm going to show you guys my stop loss. I leave my stop loss to be open. I can leave my stop loss on even 150 pips. Give the market room to breathe. And then I used to target, like I said, in most cases, 400 pips. So that's it, 400 pips. That's 400 pips right there. Now, if I have to extrapolate this to the right, you see definitely we did hit our TP. But before we hit our TP, this is what I would have been doing. The market would have gone in my favor as soon as it brings this lower low. My stop loss would have been moved from this place. My stop loss will be standing here. As soon as it produces this lower low again, my stop loss will be standing here. As soon as it produces this lower low, my stop loss would have been standing here. But before it even came back to produce this lower low, you can see I would have already hit my TP right there. I'll do the same thing if it was a sell. I'll just trail my stop on swing lows, swing lows. The same thing if it's a buy, I just trail my stops on swing lows until the market retraces against me and hit my trailing stop or until I hit my TP. So that's how you trade it on both scenarios. Either the proud before the news, proud meaning before the news is released, you can use the data I just predicted to already place your positions. I'm going to trade both ways. I'm going to have some of my accounts tomorrow that will already have buy positions on gold, waiting for the news to be released. Then I'll have another one that I'll be waiting for the news to be released for me to be certain that, okay, now it is actually negative, and then I'm going to come in to do the same thing I'm showing you guys. So I had to show you guys both scenarios because I do trade both scenarios and I've made money and I've lose money on both scenarios. But the good thing is the more times I've made money, I've made millions, I've made a lot to even forget the times I've lose money doing the same thing. That's the edge when it comes to trading. That's the edge when it comes to understanding what you're doing. Let me know in the comment section how you're going to be trading NFP tomorrow. Let me know in the comment section which asset you're going to be trading. And as always, if you want me to mentor you one-on-one, check out Godlove University, which you're going to see the link on the video description, where we're going to teach you more fundamental strategies like this together with more than 6 other strategies. If you want to use a prop firm that will allow you to trade your news like this without any issue, check the link below to use my recommended prop firm. If you also want to use, you should be trading with a broker that will pay you. Full stop, all right? You should be trading with a broker that won't have any complaints. So check the link on the video description to use my recommended broker. The same broker I'm trading with, the same broker that will be happy to pay you if you actually make that money. Join my free Telegram community. It's going to be hot in my free Telegram community as we're going to be sharing this live. And as always, check out the videos that are going to be coming at the end of your screen so that you can see what happened on the previous NFP where we made more than $50,000. And I'll see you guys on these other videos. Peace.